Well, Rachel Nichols has been covering the NBA since 1993, and we are watching an Indiana team fly through Milwaukee, Cleveland, and the Knicks, and Rachel's now joining us live. Rach, I've said, I don't think this is an anti-Knicks series. I think what we're watching is an ascending superstar who put up a line last night that only Oscar Robertson has rivaled. I think we're watching the next great NBA player, and because he's not vertical or doesn't drop 42, we're not quite sure what to do with it, but it's a lot of Magic Johnson to me.
Yeah, look, he is so much fun to watch, right, first of all, and he's the kind of guy that if your team wasn't playing against him, you'd want Tyrese Haliburton on your team. He plays the right way. Obviously, that stat line he put up last night, to be able to do 30, 15, 10, no turnovers. I mean, it really is just absolutely crazy what he was able to do. Plus, he's got the bravado, right? He's got the swag. He's got everything you want if you are a fan of basketball. And you're right. He makes the right plays. He does it the right way. He's not dropping 40 or 50 every night. But if you like the game, you like the way Tyrese Haliburton plays ball.
You know, one of the things, the advantage to losing a series is that you know your deficiencies. Okay, we don't do this well. And the Knicks front office has been really patient in this rebuild. And I don't think they need a ton, but it's pretty clear that Cat and Brunson, you know, many of Cat's best moments and when Brunson's not on the floor, because I think Brunson plays better with a catch and shoot guy like Kevin Durant. So my take is it's nothing wrong with Cat and Brunson, but we do have a minus 24 when they're on the court together, and they're not great defensively. Do you think the KD thing, which it feels like he checks boxes, I get length, I get experience, I get catch and shoot. What do you make of the just the suggestion of that?
I mean, look, I assume then you mean you're swapping him out for Karl Anthony Towns.
Yes.
I'm not sure if the Knicks are going to want to do that just a year into the Cat experiment. I think you hit it on the head when you talked about the plus-minus. The issue to me of Cat and Brunson on the floor together is not so much offensively, it's defensively. You've got two targets out there. And when you get to this level of the playoffs, when you get to the Final Four, this elite level of basketball and shot making, you cannot have two targets out there at the same time. And that is the biggest lesson I think the Knicks are going to learn from this as they go into the offseason. I would expect them to pursue guys who maybe aren't as big fancy names, but like a Walker Kessler from Utah, somebody who can give them a little bit more of that presence without having to tear up the team they have, because they like this team and they should like this team. This team got to the conference finals for the first time in that city in 25 years. I would not make huge changes, but I would clean up around the edges, and that is one of the biggest places to me to clean up.
So, listen, OKC is going to win this series. I don't think there's any question. I said this yesterday. We forget that Ant is 23 years old and SGA is 26, and you can see it. It's like seeing Mahomes as a rookie and Mahomes in year 5.
Yep.
He's way better pre-snap. He sees the field. I think sometimes Ant can be a little collaborative. I think he should be a bit more aggressive. But what is your sort of take and what you're hearing about this series where he feels like, you know, not in SGA's league?
Well, look, you nailed it. He's got 2 or 3 more years before he is where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I should just say SGA too, right? I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
He's got 2 more years before he's where SGA is as well. And we see it. And I think that he's going to learn this offseason to work on things like moving without the ball, right? More catch and shoot. Yes, you do have to be more aggressive, to your point, even when the defense is smothering you and playing the anyone but you game. I think we are seeing Anthony Edwards develop. And the reason we are so excited about him is that he has the talent, he has the drive, he has all of the moves in his bag, and he obviously has the personality to be a huge superstar in this league. And our excitement about that, we can't forget that he is not yet where we are projecting him to be. The reason we're excited is because he's not there yet, because we know he can do more than this. So let's let him do it before we declare a kid who's 23 years old and has been in the Western Conference Finals now for 2 consecutive seasons a failure in some way, which is what you're starting to hear around the sort of blogosphere. And I just don't get it. This kid has delivered everything you could ask for, and I promise you he will get better. I promise you he is going to continue to grow.
So I want to segue back to the Pacers and the Knicks because, listen, the Pacers are 11-0 in every playoff game, not game 3, meaning they go into Milwaukee, win 2, lose game 3. They go into Cleveland, win 2, lose game 3. Same with New York. So to me, game 3, when you're up 2-0, when you've stolen 2 road games, it's foot off the gas. Like this team, to me, in the most important games, starting a series and ending it, they're undefeated. It's insane what they're doing. And I look at outside of Miles Turner, their cap sheet, very clean. Mm-hmm. And, you know, is Indiana a team? I mean, I got to tell you, when I watch Haliburton, he doesn't even lead the Pacers in usage rate. Mm-hmm. Like, totally attractive if I'm a shooter to play with Haliburton. Will they be active, you believe, in a trade or free agency?
Look, they've done a great job building that team around him. So I think, yeah, they will continue to try to do that. But what we're seeing with all of these Final Four teams now is really smart front offices that have built teams the right way. We killed the Knicks for years, right, about all their bad free agency and front office moves. Leon Rose comes in. They've built a very smart team. Tim Conley in Minnesota, one of the best team builders out there. Sam Presti, Oklahoma City, won Executive of the Year multiple times. These are well-built teams and organizations. And for all of the chatter that you and I are going to talk this summer about trades and free agency and all of that stuff and the big names and who goes where, it's the organizations who know how to build a complete squad, a squad that can go 10 deep the way the Pacers can, legitimately, not like fake 10 deep. You'll see that in Oklahoma City, too, if these are the two teams that get to the finals. These are teams, man, and I think especially in an age with, you know, multiple aprons and salary caps and CBAs, you need a full, complete team because you can't just build on stars in the same way anymore.
Finally, Austin Reaves' agent came out and said, you better stop talking about trading him for second-tier centers. Obviously, the game playing, you know, is starting for, but sure. It does lead me to believe that his agent's talking about it, so he's come to terms with they are considering moving him. Yeah. What are the chances? Would they, you know, these days, the free agency feels more dead. Everybody gets traded. They sign the max, then you move them. If Austin Reaves, do you believe he'll be a Laker after the trade deadline next year?
After the trade deadline next year?
Yes,
no, look,
yeah.
I think they're going to have to probably give up Austin Reaves to get what they need, which is an interior defense presence, preferably someone who can rim run, right, the way Derek Lively did with Luka when they were in Dallas. And they also need more 3-and-D wings. So to get all of that stuff, I don't think that Austin Reaves can stay in your asset coffers, but I don't know if it's going to happen this summer. We'll have to see what Rob Pelinka can do. There was a lot of criticism sort of the Lakers and the Lakers' construction and the way the team was after that first-round series and the way they lost that series. I don't think that's fair because when you get the chance to make the Luka Doncic trade, you make the Luka Doncic trade and then you figure it all out later. Well, the figuring it all out later comes this summer. It didn't come a few weeks ago. It didn't come at the trade deadline. That was just about getting Luka. But this summer, they have got to figure it out, and they have to put players around him, around Luka that fit better, that fit around an aging LeBron. And Austin Reaves, unfortunately, as well, like to see is in that organization, and they love him there. I do think you will probably end up having to give him up to get the other pieces you need, and you need them. You can't waste this. You got Luka Doncic dropped in your lap.
Yeah, and you could have Giannis in the West as well. Rachel Nichols, as always, great seeing you, Rach. Thanks.
Thanks.